What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that since the energy has done such a major shift, and it's not all about, you know what I'm saying, outer appearance and what you got and what you have. It's all about internal growth. A lot of us are doing the work, you know what I'm saying? But we're at a certain level where people who can't see through their own blocks are taking your sight appearance and basically judging you by that. You feel me? Because again, a lot of people don't understand that everything is created in the spirit first, which means you have to live by faith, not by sight, you know what I'm saying, and know and trust in your process and where it's going, you know what I'm saying. But because you oftentimes are surrounded by people that live by, you feel me, sight, they're so transfixed and consumed with what they got, who got what, who has this, who looks the best, who got this, who got that. They don't even become aware of the fact that internally your energy is rising. And then some of them do, you feel me, because it causes an insane amount of attraction, you know what I'm saying, people copying you. And the crazy part about it is you know what's going on because you don't want it, you know what I'm saying. You did your own internal growth to basically get yourself out of the old version of yourself. As they see it and look at it as you got something that we've been trying to dress up and put on a show for the outside so people can be more attracted to us. So they come into your path and around you, and they, you know, smack their lips and they say certain words, you know what I'm saying, because they're trying to figure out what the hell, you know what I'm saying. This person is glowing up into a way where we find ourselves being attracted to their energy, but we thought that since we got the latest outfit, the latest J's and all the money, that was the direction we was going in, you know what I'm saying. But because they have a certain amount of blocks on their mind, they can't process and understand that what's going on, you know what I'm saying. They're still caught up in trying to find themselves. So understand, when I talk, I'm not saying this to downgrade or look at anybody as less than, because we are trying to figure out a way. I'm saying it as in people can understand. Once you do the internal growth inside yourself, it comes with the things that people chase on the physical. You feel me? Because like I said, a lot of people live by sight, not by faith. You know what I'm saying? So once you decide to take that leap of faith in your own life and go a direction that you have to basically pave the whole street yourself and make the turns and the signs and the stoplights, all that on your own, you know what I'm saying, it's going, mentally you're going to struggle, you feel me. It's going to put you behind. People are going to look at you as if, you know, you the scum of the earth, you feel me. You can't compare to what we got going on because you don't got this, you don't got that, you know what I'm saying. But we thought in our mind that, you know what I'm saying, we were going in to be able to create this level of energy that's attracted to you, that's not attracted to us. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And some people, again, like I said, internally, they're still stuck at a crossroads. So they're not even trying to process the fact that maybe I need to work on myself to be able to get to this level of, you know what I'm saying, attraction, to where I can attract energy naturally. Instead of trying to compete, instead of trying to, you know, down talk or or look down on somebody, energetically on a soul level, we have no idea where they're at. We're basically judging them by what they have, what they look like, and what we think we can compare ourselves to. You feel me? And it's kind of like the wrong way to think. I don't know why the universe decided to do it at a crucial time like this, but I guess it was needed, because if you look at it, the world was in destruction. Everybody was cutting corners with everybody trying to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have the best this, trying to have the best that. If I got this, I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing the trauma that we've been going through. that painted a certain picture to us is all the things that were subconsciously hidden in the background. You know what I'm saying? That basically taught us to live by sight instead of faith. When you live by faith instead of sight, you basically are doing things to improve your life, but you know and you trust in your process because you trust in yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have that type of love for themselves. Everything is basically centered off of everybody else, and you'll notice it. You know what I'm saying? The energy feels neutral. Everybody feel like they got it until you open your mouth and start talking. Then everybody starts to get an understanding of, oh shit, we may not be there yet. You know what I'm saying? We might have more work to do. You feel me? If you open your eyes and look and pay attention, a lot of times people can just want to use their energy to try to make it seem as if yours is cloaked with theirs, but you really a whole individual set apart from everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like kind of like the discovery of it. You know what I'm saying? You like basically something that's newly invented. Some person tries it, it's still cloaked under all these popular names. You know what I'm saying? And then you do more marketing promotions, more people start liking it, investing in it, and then at some point it starts to overshadow the top names. You know what I'm saying? Everything in life works like that. So again, focusing on yourself and doing what you know is conducive to you and your own growth will help your soul grow on a level that a lot of people won't understand because they're not focused on themselves, they focus on you. You know what I'm saying? And so it gets to a point where you have to really have confidence in who you are, because if not, certain people and their emotions and how they see life and in this competition mode will start to wear off on you. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, a lot of people sow they sow, and when you do that, you basically scratch and erase your trauma. You don't heal it, you don't face it. You put it in the back, you capitalize off of it by seeing it in others, and you find out a way to receive income off of it. You feel me? And now you appeal to people as if you don't have that trauma by giving them what they feel they need to be able to erase part of their identity that hasn't healed. So again, like I said, when that happens, these people move by sight, not faith. You know what I'm saying? Faith is the ability to know that anything in excess or that you get caught up in this physical world can have you dancing with the devil if you do not, you feel me, be careful and pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But when you go and do the work on your own self, that means you won't lose yourself in the process of things you can't control. Listen, I get it. I understand. Me being who I am, I overthink, and I always want to have everything under control all the time. You know what I'm saying? But what I've come to realize in these last 3 to 4 years is that no matter how much control you think you have, you don't. You know what I'm saying? And once I started to understand that, I was like, okay, so now it's time for me to reassess how I act in things I can't control. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is you gain more emotional intelligence. So you're not so quick to fly off the handle or go crazy when something happens that's already been happening. Listen, if you get mad or irritated about something, it's something that's already been bothering you. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like maybe now it might be heightened because your body is giving you a response of, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of reacting to this, but I haven't found the solution. So you feel me? You'll fly off the handle, not realizing that maybe that thing you're going through is testing you so that you can gain more emotional intelligence to be able to have a certain reaction to things that you can't control. You know what I'm saying? Because things are going to happen in life that no one can control. But if you figure out how to regulate your emotional intelligence to things, imagine how far that'll get you. Imagine how you'll be able to get to a space in your life where you'll be able to create an energetic field around you with everything that you've been chasing comes naturally, because people love things they don't understand, but they gonna fight it at first. You feel me? So they love new things, but they gotta catch on first. You feel me? So it's like, okay, automatically, I grew up in it too. The more you had, the nicer you look, the better you were in somebody else's eyes who didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Or at the level where you're on the same level as them. You know what I'm saying? But internally, we was all mentally fucked up. You feel me? We were just too busy trying to chase the bag and impress each other that we had no idea we were suffering from the same trauma wounds, right? So when it came a point in life where the universe was like, hey, look, y'all just don't know. I'm about to strip all this. You feel me? I'm about to put problems in people's lives that they ain't gonna see coming. And that's going to expose the real you. You know what I'm saying? And when people have to actually go and deal with that trauma, a lot of people are still trying to run from it. They're still trying to find a way to go opposite of having to deal with it by covering up with something that is running out of life. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that creates a block to where you're forced back into the very same position where you have no choice but to look at it and heal it. Listen, it's the hardest thing because it's like it confuses people. Because whenever they were faced with something that was too hard for them, they easily ran. I was a runner at one point in my life, an avid runner. I'm running far, far away. You ain't gonna catch me. And if I gotta deal with that, I ain't coming over there. I'm going over here where it's much easier, right? But when that much easier starts to wear off, you're forced right back. You know what I'm saying? Into the very thing that you're running from. And if people don't understand, that's like the max magnitude of healing that we'll probably ever experience. The only thing is, a lot of people don't understand it because they're so used to running. It's more comfortable for them. You know what I'm saying? But listen and understanding, that is going to keep resurfacing with more serious consequences the more that you don't understand that the universe is trying to get everybody to heal so that, you feel me, this city or this state can grow in energy. You know what I'm saying? But it happens in increments. You know what I'm saying? And if you can pay attention to life, you'll be able to see one part of life, everybody had their businesses going, money was flowing, right? Snatched off. You feel me? Then a second part of life was happening. And then what happens is those in short periods, it resurfaces it back again. You know what I'm saying? But this time, what are you going to do different with it than you did before? You know what I'm saying? Now that you've learned what you needed to learn. And a lot of people miss the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes people miss the lesson because, again, I'm a person that understands being comfortable is more easier than being uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable is the best lesson needed to learn what you need to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, being mindful and aware of the fact that there are a lot of people who walk by sight, you know what I'm saying, not faith, you know, and you got to understand how tricky the mind can be because everybody I ask, do they believe in God? And they all say, yeah, right? But if you truly understood, you know what I'm saying, the way to really get to a point where you walk in faith and not sight, you will understand that a lot of times people may not have what you have. They may not be concerned with what you're concerned with, but they're growing in a level of energy that is attracting all the things that you want. So what is it that you doing that's different from what they doing? You feel me? And it kind of has you put into a space where you have to evaluate self-consciously your brain. And I'm telling you, the lesson you need to learn is right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? It's just, are you confident enough in yourself to remove the block that could be put on you by other people to stop you from growing? You know what I'm saying? That's the part a lot of people misunderstand and misalign. A lot of people have everything, but they don't want nobody that they know to get ahead of them mentally because mentally they're not stable. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you at joy and at peace inside yourself, that's worth more than anything materialistically. So why would I let you get to that space? You know what I'm saying? Instead, I want you to stay where you're struggling to try to keep up an appearance and an identity. You know what I'm saying? So that I can continue to stay on my throne because I have more than you. Hey, it's crazy. It's complex, but it's so very real. You know what I'm saying? And I got to a point where I started to understand that what I was doing made, you know, look blurry to people. It sometimes you wake up and you comparing and you're not in the space where everybody else is and everybody's looking happy and joyous, you know what I'm saying? But you're not understanding and realizing that now is the time where what you want out of life is only going to come if you align with it. If you do not align with it, you're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that basically counteracts the healing. When you're woken up to the fact that you've been running a race based off of bad intentions and you're placed back into a scenario where you have to actually solve and there's nowhere to run, it's complicated, but it's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? So that you can align with what you're trying to align with in life. And that, I feel, is the most important thing in life, is that believe and trust in yourself. Don't look for outside validation from nobody. Don't look for nobody to pat you on the back. Don't look for nobody to, hey, congratulations. Don't look for nobody to look at you and what you're really doing. Don't have nobody try to see that you're not in competition. You actually trying to improve you and your young lives. Like, people will not see it that way when they're in this phase of competition mode, because they've always been like that. It was easier to just subconsciously neglect the trauma and sell our soul to present an image to be able to acquire the attention, the love, the fame, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But if it flips due to the universe seeing the bad reactions and how it put the world in such turmoil, now it's almost as if you can't make your growth be off of someone else and where they at. Your growth has to be solely on aligning your energy with where you see yourself. And that means solely depending on yourself 100% and believing and having faith that what you doing, how you doing it will work out in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And that is how you acquire the type of love, attention, admiration, and success that you're looking for, which has been opposite of what we've been taught. Because you got to think about it. There were a lot of, you feel me, dark individuals running the world. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, they were basically projecting a certain way to live, but siphoning all that energy for themselves. $1 million companies, Fortune dollar companies, all, you feel me, rich and living good, and basically having the life off of our misery and our pain. You know what I'm saying? So again, once it flips and we heal, it's almost as if, like, if you ain't naturally, you know what I'm saying, doing what you need to do to acquire what you want in life, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that have been gaining, you know what I'm saying, thousands and millions of dollars to portray an image, but was really dark in the inside, gonna have to start all the way back down at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are having a hard time trying to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So again, I promise you, faith is the hardest thing to have when you're struggling. I get it. Faith is the hardest thing to have when people talk about you. Faith is the hardest thing to have when people look at you as less than. Faith is the hardest goddamn thing to have when people be judging. But once you get to a point in life where you know who you are and what you stand on, nothing they can say will, you feel me, get you into a space to where you pull back from who you are and get into that space now where you're captivated by sight and not faith. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the most important lesson a lot of people have to understand. You feel me? And that means trusting in yourself, believing in yourself. And a lot of people don't believe in themselves like you think they should. You know what I'm saying? Because they're too fascinated by an appearance to impress people that don't give a shit. You feel me? What you got or don't got, because they too busy trying to accumulate their own life. And maybe you may have passed a certain level that they enjoy being around you, but when it come time to really get down to it, they are going to be out your way and out of your hair. That's the thing I think a lot of people get confused. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, when you heal your soul naturally, you start to get all the attention and like and admiration that people who basically focus on their appearance are dying for. It's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see the real behind it. The only reason why you are around me or want to be around me is because the level of energy that I have. You want it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't really like me for me. You know what I'm saying? And once you see the fakeness in that, it kind of gives you a different perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I realize now that a lot of times the more you have, you get fake love. People that only want to be around you for what you got. But let it all fall down. Now you're depressed because all that love and attention built your head up so big that you're wondering where it's at when you're doing bad. That's because it was fake love. They really didn't care about you. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine when you grow and heal your soul from the ground up for a better mentality for yourself and becoming at peace, how that comes with a certain level of energy that people will kill for. You know what I'm saying? But think of your mental state and where it's at now compared to when you had everything and you had all that fake love. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very big difference. You know what I'm saying? And it helps you understand and see through people's masks, because it's like, okay, where were you at when I was, you feel me, going through it the most, trying to get my life right to become a better person. But when I had it all and I was conducive to you and I was reliable for you, you know what I'm saying? It was all good. But when I needed you, you was nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? And it happens in stages, because if you don't know, that's how life works. It may seem all cool in the first stage. That's because you haven't reached your peak yet. You still attracted to this energy in some type of way. But once you completely detach and you upgrade, and you sitting up here and you feel me, people down here, they spirit is upset because you making moves that they only talk about. You know what I'm saying? But they got more than you though. You feel me? So it'll get to a point where, okay, watch though, you're going to get so high because of you not knowing how to keep it. You're going to lose it. You're going to have to start over. I'm a product of that in my whole entire life. I'm just now learning the groundwork to be able to have something and stabilize it and root it to the ground. And that's the best feeling ever, because it's a long process. You know what I'm saying? And it don't happen overnight. And you got to be willing to stay on the course. You feel me? And that is the ability to understand and know who you are and realize that energy is quiet, it's silent. It doesn't speak. It lives in a whole different spiritual realm. You have to know and trust and believe and have faith in everything that you are and standing on. And in time, you will reap the fruits of your reward, but it comes with challenges. It comes with, people trying to kick you down, because like I said, there are people that will pay millions of dollars to be able to get into a certain space of life just because of who they really feel they are inside, and without doing the healing, they just want to cut corners. You feel me? And that's the truth behind it. So realize and know that I know that, the way to actually gaining something that you want is putting in the work. I don't care what it look like. That means attachments gotta go. You feel me? All things that hinder your process gotta go. Anything that clouds your mind, you won't be able to feel the signs. You won't be able to tap in. You won't be able to read. You staying connected to people for whatever reason that get on your nerves. You feel me? That ain't good for you. All signs of you blocking off your highest self. So you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You feel me? So when you get into a world and you steady trying to compete with somebody, but you haven't done the background work, it's kind of backwards. You know what I'm saying? Because that person that's doing the work gonna sit you on your ass. And you gonna think you competing, but you can't, where you don't compare, because you haven't done the work. You still in competition mode because you think that, maybe your looks, maybe your body type, maybe your money, maybe your status is gonna get you ahead. And that's not how the world is spinning on its axis currently right now. And it's been like that for a long time. But again, when the world shifts and change, everybody is stuck looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Y2K and the COVID, all the major national disasters that had us freaking out. But they didn't prepare us for this one, though. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they will not want you guys to be awoke to what's really happening. They only want you guys to believe what they telling y'all. So listen, stop sleeping. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? I know sleep be feeling good, but trust me, you're going to learn a lot more when you wake up. And live every day like it's your last. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.